Hi, I'm in Tokyo, and one of my goals for this trip is to find as many Ikebana supplies and vases as I can to bring back home. So come with me as I show you the top stores that I found. My Ikebana teacher recommended buying baskets while I was in Japan because vases are a little bit easier to find online, albeit they're quite expensive, but baskets are really hard to find. So that's one thing that's great to buy while you're in Japan. Hi, so I'm back home and I just wanted to share some of the things that I picked up on this trip just so you have an idea for what to look out for if you're visiting these Ikebana stores. So first off, it showed up earlier in the video, is this bamboo vase. Now this one turned out to be quite the hassle bringing back because I hand carried it from hotel to hotel, through airport security, all the way back home. And I got quite a few laughs from hotel staff, airport security, as it was just dangling from my bag as I walked from place to place. But this was, as I mentioned earlier, something that my Ikebana teacher highly recommended picking up in Japan, because there are just a lot more options available for bamboo baskets in Japan rather than abroad. So this one I'm definitely excited to start using in my Ikebana arrangements. Next, for the ceramic vases, the first one here is just a simple beginner's vase. I like the detail here on the side as well as the 4 feet on the bottom. This one only ended up being around $35. Now the prices in Japan are much more reasonable than what you're gonna find at stores abroad or even online. So this was such a great buy, a smaller vase. Bringing them back home, I actually ended up keeping it in the box that the store provided. They wrapped it really well, bubble wrapped it, and then put it in a cardboard box. Originally, I was thinking that I was gonna have to hand carry them, put them in my carry-on, and bring them all the way back home, but they were packaged so well at the store, I just put the box inside my checked bag, and they made it all the way home without a scratch. Next, we have this bigger oval one. I love this kind of texture that it has. Now, I'm actually not really using vases of this size really in my studies yet, But one thing that I learned going to these different stores in Japan is keep an open mind for the type of vases that you're gonna buy. Originally, when I was going to Japan, I was envisioning that I would buy a nice kind of circle, shallow vase that I'll be using very soon in my studies. Now, there were many circle vases, shallow circle vases. However, none of them really kind of touched my heart as much as this one. So I figured, might as well buy it now. I will use it eventually. This one only ended up being around $85. And similar to the previous vase, packaged very well. This one would have been a little bit more difficult to bring home in a carry-on, but same thing. I put it in my checked bag and it was totally fine bringing back home. Definitely worth picking up some vases while you're in Japan. I was also able to pick up a few books. Now these were from the Ohara school headquarters. This one's even translated into English, but they have a lot of their own learning materials, a lot, of course, of great pictures, descriptions for flower materials. I'm sure all the schools there will have their own materials if you're able to visit their own kind of branch or headquarters. There is this one here, as well as a little study guide. This one's actually kind of a beginner's book, an introduction, but they have great kind of learning pieces, which would be great to keep along with me as I continue my Ikebana studies. Lastly, for some tools and accessories, I ended up picking up 2 pairs of scissors or clippers. This one is one that was recommended to me by my teacher because it's able to cut thicker branches easier. It kind of has more of a comfort grip. So these ones kind of are used for thicker branches. And then just the kind of standard pair of Ikebana scissors. Now I didn't need a new pair. I had my beginner pair that I've been using this whole time, but I figured the prices, of course, in Japan, as I've been saying, are a lot lower than what you're gonna find online or elsewhere. So I figured now is a good time to kind of splurge on a new pair. This one was handmade. It's supposed to be a more durable material, but it only ended up being around $80. This was kind of the higher end of the price range. But I figured, pick it up now and it'll last me a long time. Now for some accessories, these are ones that I didn't really see much of online or in stores here and there outside of Japan, but these are Ikebana specific pouches and scissor covers. So ones like this, you can just put the whole pair inside the pouch. We've got a vertical oriented one as well. Just show. And then you can just throw it in your bag, super convenient. And then for these scissor covers, kind of similar, you sheath it and then there's a clip on the bottom. There were a lot of options for scissor covers. I picked up a few different colors, just a few extra to give to friends, just because easy buys. I haven't seen them much around here, and everybody is using Ikebana scissors, so it's definitely something that people can use and can appreciate. For a few final notes, I didn't end up getting any ceramic tall vases. I'm not really there in my studies yet. There were many different options, but I wasn't quite sure what exactly to look out for, so I didn't pick up any this time around, but I'm sure the same thing applies for the shallow vases that I did pick up. The stores will pack them very well. Case by case, I think you'll be able to put it in your check bag and not worry too much, especially if it's kind of cushioned by your other belongings. I didn't pick up any Kenzan. There were a lot of different options, a lot of different sizes, of course, the full range. However, those were a little bit more heavy, and I figured those are a little bit easier to find abroad, online, so I didn't pick up any of those. There were a few other accessories, flower bags, pumps for water. I didn't pick up those. I don't really use those quite yet. Of course, one thing to keep in mind is Ikebana is from Japan, so the stores there are gonna have probably the best variety of vases, accessories, anything Ikebana related, books. So it's definitely worth the time to make a trip out to the store, see what they have, and pick up not just one, but a few things while you're there. I definitely think it's worth it. As a sort of final note, follow along, like, and subscribe. I hope to post more Ikebana content as I continue my Ikebana journey, and comment down below. If you've been to any of these stores, if you've been to other Ikebana stores or stores in other cities in Japan, just so we can share some of the resources with each other and we can all grow in our Ikebana journey together. Thanks, guys.